I have now been using Canva probably every day for the last several years. But when I first heard about it, I actually did find it confusing. So I wanted to give you my advice about how I learned it because I thought of a way to practice with all the different tools, and that is to take advantage of all their templates. So I do have a pro account and I've forgotten which things are pro and which things aren't, but I went for probably a year with the free account before it became worth it to me to upgrade to the pro, which is a very affordable subscription, and you don't have to worry about which images you can use and which pieces. You just can use it all the time for everything. And boy, do I use Canva all the time for everything. So I'm going to show you on a YouTube thumbnail. We need to go to Create Design, look up, but this is already in my frequently used tab. And the first thing it's going to do is offer you templates up here. And you can do this on the app as well, of course. If you ever get out of that templates area, it's up here. This design thing is the same. And you can search based on different things, I think. I never use that. But anyway, so we'll pick one of these, and this is where we start practicing. So pick a random template and then start changing things. Few different fonts. These ones with the little crown are the ones that are part of the Pro. This is all uppercase, but we can change it to be regular. We can move it backwards and forwards so things are, if we wanted that to go on top of the text, we could do that. I don't know why we would want to do that, but we could. Effects there. Let's delete that. You can change the transparency of things. These are grouped together so that when you move them, they stay in that pattern, but you can also ungroup and click away and then move them into a different pattern. Oh, it's like a Christmas tree. You can change the color of almost anything, and it gives you some basic colors, but when you click on here, you can put in a hex code, or you can play around, or you can click on this and grab a color, and then it stores the most recent ones up here. You can also create your brand colors. This is probably a pro thing, I'm not sure, but you create a brand kit that has your fonts and colors and stuff already laid out so that when you go to say text, I've already decided which fonts I want on here. So text, you can pick 3 fonts to be there. There are some nice sample ones here that you can add and then change. Then you can upload your own images and videos and audios. And you can edit the image and do a background remover. Apply. You can do other things. You can make it a mock-up. You can adjust all of these things. We can make it bright. We can tint it. I'm an alien now. This doesn't really show up because it's backwards, but vibrance, all kinds of stuff there. You can save those settings as a code for later, I think. I haven't played with that. You can add shadows. I saw this cool trick on YouTube to make that like thick sticker kind of border. Check that out. Some people are so clever. And then you can go to elements and let's say, they're in an airport. I'm gonna pick a different background. Say city. And then you can sort it by graphics, photos, videos, and audio. They have a basic video editor going now, which it's fine. I have another one that I use that I like better, but it's getting there. You can also animate a lot of these elements, speaking of video, so You can decide, is this going to happen when you come in or out? Is it going to go slow? Or, well, that's a, you know, these are, I guess animation is a pro feature. Cropping is good if you need to adjust the way that an image sits inside of a frame, for example. So, add a graphic here. Sometimes the graphics you'll see you can change the colors up here, and some of them are like, this is the color that it is. So, like this one. Copy them. But I want to do a photo for this background. Ooh, that's pretty. And it will snap onto the background there. And then we can change the transparency, and the background is of the whole thing is black, so that's why it has that kind of effect. If we change that background, it would be a little bit different. So, and then you can add elements from your previous projects once you have those, and you can have folders. So like I have a folder that's full of my images of my cartoon self, so that I can add her to any thumbnails or any images really easily, because I just go down to this folder and all the copies of her are right there. Waking up too early in the city. Oh, isn't that pretty? Whoops. So then, once you have a design, oh, you can always also add a page. I do this a lot when I'm creating variations and I want to save what I have, but I want to experiment with it. You can also directly copy it. And I'll do this like, I have all of my Instagram graphics, 30 of them for a whole month, and they're just a list of 30. So when you're downloading them, you can download all of them at once into a zip, or you can select which ones. So it's going to default for MP4. I'm not sure why. In this case, we do have an animated element, so it kind of makes sense, but for some reason it always does for me. But you have all these different options: JPEG, PNG, PDF standard, PDF print, SVG, which I haven't experimented much with, but could be really cool, and GIF. GIF is pretty fun. So that's technically a video file, but it just does a short little animation. So yeah, sorry, it's not a whole lot of graphical elements there. And you can change the sizing and stuff like that there. You can share a template link with people so that then they can create based off of your design. And you can print your design onto things. I actually have a t-shirt that I printed from a design that I made on Canva. So, oh, and yeah, there's also different like apps. So you can use this to create a QR code. You just put the URL in there, and then you can add that to your design. And I have not experimented with very many of these, mostly just the smart mock-up, because I love making book mock-ups of different kinds. You can do charts, and when you do a chart, you can actually fill the data in this table, and then you can see how it looks, and I can add my data from a CSV or a Google Sheet. So I can make really pretty presentations with that. That was a cool find. So you just got to play around with it. There's so much to do, and you just discover new things every day. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to show you? With the Pro version, you can easily resize this. So if you wanted to do a similar design, but for Instagram, then resize it to an Instagram post. And can add team members. Those are the main things. I think that's pretty much the main things that I use. Oh, and you can like change the size. You may have seen that already somewhere. So yeah, lots of cool things that you can do with Canva, and I use it so much.